I tried to start streaming. It seems everything seems to be fine, but it wouldn't start. It said start, but it didn't start it. So okay, we are live now, I think. So let's play. We have 4 tables of action. This guy is unknown to me, but the 8s I'm gonna call. He needs to see bet all his range in this spot, so I don't understand why he's checking. It seems he's not a real good player. And usually when they do this, it seems like they have like a ace bluff, they 4-bet bluffed, and now they are checking it behind. Hand like, I don't know, probably like ace queen, and he's not checking it, or he's like checking kings or aces, but he shouldn't check any hand in this spot. He needs to bet all the range. So I just don't understand why this player do it, but probably he's bad. We don't have any information of him. I didn't play with him at all, so I don't know him. But definitely when I see this, I know he's not good. He needs to check the aces on the turn. If he has aces, he should bet the flop with it and then check the turn to protect some other hands, but not on the flop. Let's see what I have on this player. Okay, interesting. Okay. Calling king deuce. I'm not checking king high when the hand is triple checked. We can overbet or bet normal size. I think overbet is also really good. Okay. I think we are live now and I can see the chat. Yep, I think that's it. I can see everything. Okay. Okay, I think we're live now. No, I don't see the chat. I only see the chat replay, but not the chat. Okay, really low 4-bet. Okay, I see the chat now. So I see everything now and we can start playing. tell me if you have problems with loudness, or because the last time the people told me that I wasn't loud enough. So tell me if that is now. So I'm gonna increase the loudness of the microphone. I'm gonna delay it here. And this is practically cutoff versus the button. He did call king jack off. I didn't pay attention what happened here. I didn't pay attention how was the action. Hello chain, yep, we are back in streaming. But we're not gonna do any challenges. We're just gonna play when I feel like playing. I'm in Germany back with my parents, so I have the time to stream. When I'm back in Croatia, I'm just gonna make videos, YouTube videos, and that's it. And maybe occasional stream. And we're gonna include the breakthrough heads up hat here. Okay. He should be stabbing with a lot bigger size than this. That's why I'm gonna check raise it. He should be polarized. He doesn't want to stab like 7s here or 8s or like 9x. He wants to be polarized, and that's why I'm check raising. I was planning to check call this hand, but now when he's like doing something that's not good and that's wrong, I'm going to just increase the frequency of check raise, because I'm not going to allow him to like step 6x or pocket 5s or stuff like that. Okay, back to the HUD, breakthrough stars HUD. Okay. Okay, we're going to talk about the range and everything. So, on most players I have the data, and that's really good. And we're going to see it. 16k hands, 2k, I think it's okay. 2k, 4k, that's enough to have some useness of the HUD. Okay, 5s are call. Let's see his check range here, 20%. That's like ace 10, check check call, check check fold turn, 51, check check call turn, weaker than usual. I'm gonna bet small here. 5s are call. Big blind versus button. Okay, we are calling 5s here. Check here. I would turn 5s into bluff in like a diamond runouts. on a hand like a 6, 7, but not on the king. Even he's gonna have some king access hands, but it's okay. 10. One third here. I'm betting the turn with the 9s. I'm going to turn 9s into bluff here. But the guy lost 2 hands against us, so there's probably the reason he's calling. Even I think king 10 is okay. He's gonna have like a lot of king 10, king jack type of hands, but yep, I think I'm gonna bluff it with the 9s. It's small blind versus early position. We don't have hands like many of hands. I don't have like ace jack off there, king jack off. So basically I don't have a and I wouldn't bluff with the ace like 5 of hearts ever in this spot on the river on this level. So I feel like 9s are pretty okay. And delay here. I didn't ever play with this guy. Okay, clear call here. We're gonna find another table. Okay, calling with 7s. We immediately find the table. Great, 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 great. Easy bet with 7s. And with the 9s, I'm not gonna check the turn on double flush draw. We're gonna have a lot of like suited aces with backdoor flush with the flush draw. So 9s I'm gonna keep barreling because I want to have some bluffs on. I think we can like bluff ace 5 if the runout is completing a straight. So I think 9s are just pure bet shove in that spot. Okay, we are against 26% of range. He probably has like ace 10 off here in this spot plus. Let me see here. Okay. Well, let's see how much he folds river. 67%. Let's see the bet check bet line here. Okay, I'm gonna go for a check raise. I think he's gonna bluff a lot of in this spot, like 9-10, all the broadways, and he's gonna check a lot of aces. And we are looking like a 8x in this spot. Yep, and he's gonna go for the bet check bet. So I'm just gonna go for a big check raise here. I'm gonna call sevens here. People here, now we played like, I think I played on 200 here around 15, 50, 50, 50,000 hands, I think. So people will start to lightly call us, really lightly, and play back at us. So you're gonna see why in few sessions. It's because of our style of play. So if you see some weird moves, okay, ace-10 I'm gonna bet. This guy has probably around 50% range. So he's calling a pairs. Let's see his check raise. Check raise range is a lot. So I think he's gonna check raise against me for sure in Jack X. He's gonna call ace highs here. Let's see, 1/3. He's gonna call some of them with the club. I'm not gonna turn ace-10 into bluff here. Okay, up. And it's not the hand we want to bet. This is call with ace-10. Okay. Call here. I know this guy doesn't fold here. He's gonna check like kings here often. He's not gonna fold it on the turn. He's gonna bet his bluffs a lot here. I just know that he's like value heavy when he checks the turn, and he's gonna bluff his bluffs. And when he's also timing, he's strong, and I know that I have reads on him. And if he had a hand like marginal hand, he would like quickly call here. And when he's timing, he's just thinking that I'm gonna just now shove because he showed weakness. A couple of times he done that. One guy's asking me that he moved to Hold'em Manager 3. And I'm still on the Hold'em Manager 2. No, I'm waiting for NC Breakthrough, our program, to go back into to get to the Hold'em Manager 3. We are doing that, and it will be in a few weeks over. So in a few weeks we will be on Hold'em Manager 3, and the program will be on Hold'em Manager 3. I can show you how it looks on Hold'em Manager 3. It looks a lot better. It's a lot faster. It will have also some new features. It will have a new pop-up, calling dynamic pop-up, and everybody who bought the program for Hold'em Manager 2 will get a free upgrade to Hold'em Manager 3 or PTR 4. So we'll be even on the PTR on Hold'em Manager 3, and also probably on When to Note. We're gonna see what will happen with that story, but probably will be even there. This board we need to bet a bigger size, so I'm gonna do it. Okay, check raise here. Okay. I don't see the Queen X that he can have. So he's like probably calling with a pair or like 7x. So we are jamming here. The program will look better on Hold'em Manager 3. It will be a lot faster, it have more definitions, and also the same on the PTR 4, because the time has passed for Hold'em Manager 2. It's now slow, and some people have problems with the program on it. Not a lot of them, just a few of them, but still, I think the time has passed, and in few weeks we will be on Hold'em Manager 3 and PTR 4. Okay, let's see here. Folded. But I also think that it's not that Hold'em Manager will be harder to use. I mean, you just need the time to get used to it. So when I switched back from Hold'em Manager 1 to Hold'em Manager 2, I was feeling like that Hold'em Manager 1 was easier to use, better. But in time you just get used to it. That's the same thing is here. Okay, I'm just gonna bet 1/3 because I don't see the hand, the stabbing turn and checking the stabbing flop, checking turn. Okay, he's not gonna do it with Jack X. 9x shouldn't stab the flop a lot. But okay, that hand is betting the turn. It should bet the turn. Like I said, I played here. I started to play on Stars before 2 months when the scoop was first series of the scoop when was started. I played here with playing MTTs, and when I'm low with tables, adding a cash game just to keep me sharp and to don't be bored, because when I'm bored I do stupid things, and that's why I just add cash tables. And I started with I finished Zoom challenge here. I played Zoom 100, and that's why I want to play 100 normal tables just to see the difference between, because same players play it, and I just want to see the difference. And after I played some hands, I don't know, like 60k hands, I was just adding NL 200, and I will now play 100k hands here. So like maybe 2 weeks more of 200, and I will start 500. This guy never 3-bet early position or middle position. Okay. And I just wanted to see the difference between everything, players and stuff. I'm gonna also play here and stream on iPoker and on Winning Poker Network. We're gonna add it. But for now, I just, because of the software, I really like to play on Stars, but we're gonna do everything. We're gonna do Winning Poker Network, because on Winning Poker Network, the program is in full future, so there is no any restriction, and I can show you even more stuff. And here on Stars there is some restrictions. %, okay, we don't need to call it. And in Zoom Challenge, when I played Zoom, I didn't have any sample, and it was much harder to show the program, and I feel like all the challenge was mistake. I should have just played a bit sample and show the program. So I don't know what's the point of challenge if you can show the program, and I made that mistake. But okay, I mean, it's done. I had it was learning experience for me, and that's okay. You live and learn. Okay, let's see his checking range. Check, check, fold turn, not a lot. Check, check, call, fold, one of it one time. We can interpret that he's like calling weak, like ace highs. That probably he calls all ace highs in this spot. I'm gonna use smaller size. He's opening 42%. That's telling me that he doesn't have any off a 4 except ace x, and 70% c-bet telling me that he's betting that 4x. So he's not gonna raise us here because he doesn't have many 4x's, and I don't feel he's checking many flush draws also. So we can just bet one third there for protection with that hand. Three-way here, I'm not gonna bet king jack. This guy is three betting a lot. We're gonna see if it's real. Let's see type of hands that he had. Okay, there is no hands. Against 25%, I'm calling jack 10. Okay, I'm calling here. Feel we can donk here on the turn. We're gonna have 8, 9 always, and 8s also. I'm gonna check raise here. I don't understand this size at all. I mean, this guy is a fish. I'm gonna go like this because I would check raise small with the straight. I wouldn't go crazy, so it's okay. If we are stabbing here, we are using a big size, so I'm gonna use it. Pretty good hand. So there's two options. There's option one is to have check range in this spot and go for the check raise, but I don't like it use it all the time because you want to have hands that won't check raise, that won't like bet, and you're betting polarized here because when you bet when you're betting polarized in this spot, you're saying that you have a hand good king or hand that's beating king x, and I see the people like bet have pot here like with 9-10. That doesn't have any sense. You need to bet big in this spot, bet polarized, and you don't want to bet like a7 in this spot. So you're betting polarized and have a check. You're checking or betting big. That's like only two sides you want to have. I'm gonna just go find another table because this guy has nothing, and uh, I don't like to play with short stack, and I have here something will happen. Okay. Maybe we can kick him out. Maybe somebody else will be here. No, he's gonna get runner, and he's gonna play like an hour more. I'm just gonna, and this guy has also 12 big blinds, so okay, I'm gonna bet big this board with ace 5. 30% of range. He probably has like ace 10 off, king 10 off, stuff like that, with 30% range. That's also telling me that he has a lot of suited cards and we don't. So against this type of player, I'm gonna have a check range on the turn. I'm gonna check like even all flushes, just because he's gonna have it more. If he's calling 30%, he's gonna call like 6-9 suited, 8-10 suited, and stuff like that. So I just can't have a bet range in that range that has many flushes, and we are opening like 20%. So we basically have like all the ace X flushes and king 9, queen 9, jack 9 suited and suited connectors, and he's gonna have all that, and he's gonna have like king 6 suited, he's gonna have like king 8, queen 8 suited, jack 8 suited, 8 10 suited. So he's having much more flushes than we're gonna have, so we're gonna have check range there. But no matter what, we just can't call on the turn, so we're just folding. We're just gonna try to find a new table, and we find it. This guy is also short. I'm just gonna sit out, close the table, and go here. This guy is having also, he's short, but okay. I just want to see. Okay. I feel like his range will be a lot of pocket pairs. Okay, he's gonna have some suited ones. I'm just gonna have really small betting range, like 20%, and I'm gonna have big check raising range because we have all the over pairs and stuff like that. And I'm just gonna shove here. He's gonna have like a lot of suited cards. He's gonna have a lot of pairs, so I'm just gonna shove. He's gonna have 5, 3s, 8s, 9s, and against that many like pocket pairs, the best thing is to have like a check range. And usually it's like low c-bet frequency and big checkers. And when he's like betting that big, I'm just gonna go ship because I don't see the point of check raising when he's betting that big. I need to check raise like 48 and left something small behind. There's just no sense. Thanks, Chain. But I must say it was much easier than Zoom because I had stats. I had stats and it's much easier. We can also go to check everything into Holder Manager. I can show you the sessions and like everything from the stars or every other site I played. It's much easier when you have the stats and you can use the program. In Zoom, I basically didn't have stats on anybody and I just played blindly, and I just don't know how to play. Because when you play without stats and everything, you're playing like a normal game. You're trying to play more GTO, but if you don't know the players, you just can't exploit them, and you just need to play like population. And everybody said they under bluff. What I noticed, when they bluff without sense. They over 4-bet, and when I figured that out, I started to shoving them. Like they 4-bet me, I just shove every pair. They 4-bet me, I shove king queen, and they were just massively folding. But now when I play the players, I just know what are they doing, and I can just call 4-bet with like everything I want to call, because I know their range. And if I know that they have a lot of Broadways, I'm just gonna call a lot of suited connectors. I'm just gonna play 4-bet pots against them. But if you don't know how they play, it's hard to call like 4-bet with, I don't know, 6-8 suited or 5-6 suited or 4-5 suited. It's much harder. For example, in that spot, when the guy, I played with this guy last few days, and I have a few reads on him. He's pretty bad. He has like enormous sizing tells. But no matter that, I mean, there's a strategy, like the normal strategy you use, but it's much better when you have the knowledge of the opponent. It's much easier to play, because you can then move from that strategy left or right how much is necessary. So I'm gonna see what I have on him. I'm gonna call it. He should be c-betting this board exactly 30% of the time, and he's c-betting 7 out of 7 times. So that's I'm gonna raise it. That's why I'm gonna raise this, just to not allow him to do it. I'm gonna bet small. I feel he would shove also overpair. And the cool thing is here, people will like shove. Now they're gonna shove like all over pairs, and they just need to call also a lot. So when they call here, you have a profitable bluff on the river. You see, like he's now shoving and he needs to call a lot in this spot. And when he's calling, you're gonna attack that range then. And he's like he's now even shoving the top set, which is like big mistake. And I'm gonna write it down. And immediately when we're gonna be in that spot, I'm just gonna put the pressure on him when he's like calling this bet, because they make all same mistakes. He needs to call this every time, not to shove it, and he's just afraid, okay, diamond will come or something, and he's now shoving. So big mistake. And all the players that do that, I mean, if he's calling like on the check raise kings, and he should be called kings, not to ship them. Like he should be shipping tens on our raise, but not hands like kings or aces. And he's also needing to call them on the turn, because when I bet small, he needs to defend a lot. And if he's defend only with shoving and folding, it's easy game then for us. But what's gonna do here with like ace queen? He's not gonna shove ace queen or hand like 6-7 of diamonds. Okay, 6-7 of hearts, stuff like that. But pretty like that's like so big mistake for him. I have aces, I raised, I'm going all in, it's not important. But what I have, it will be sometimes that I'm gonna have hand like 9-10 here, 9-10 here, for example, or 10 jack. I'm going 10 jack, I'm blocking tens and jacks, I'm definitely shoving the river. And against him, when he's like calling that, we have like easy game on the river. But just because that fact that he's shipping there, pretty gross play by him. And we have the aces, we slow played it, so nothing we can do. Okay, he didn't call 3-bet a lot, so this guy won't have many flushes at all. A pretty tight calling range, so yep, pairs. He's basically calling pairs and big broadways, and he's not gonna have many flushes. So we have like really profitable bluff on the fourth card on the fourth club. Really profitable bluff, because he's not gonna have like hand like king jack here, and he's gonna not have ace jack. So when the fourth club is here, his best hand that he's gonna have will be pocket tens. He's gonna never have the nuts, because he's 4-betting jacks against me. So okay, checking here. And this guy didn't even like 3-bet these eights, he just called it. Okay, check raising here. This guy doesn't have ever 3x here, so the best hand he has. And this is really bad turn for us. And just because we're gonna have like 8, 9, 10s, jacks, queens, we're gonna mostly check raise them. We're gonna call sometimes, but mostly check raising them. So we just need to admit here and check this turn. He's gonna have also like 4s, 5s, 6s every time. He has small call range, so jack 10 and 9-10 is the only flush they have. And hand like maybe queen jack of hearts, and he's gonna have many pairs. Now I'm gonna shove here. Because we are pretty polarized. I will have aces that I'm gonna check, and I will have queens. I'm not really betting here 10s or 9s, so I just need to use bigger size, and I just decided to shove. Pretty gross river for our hand, but not for our range. I'm calling here because he's like telling us he has a 7, and that's it. If he has 7, he has quads. Okay, 30% here, that's ace 10 off, king 10 off. And he's not gonna float it with 41% folding, so when he's calling equity, he's calling all pairs. Doesn't have a 2 pair in his range, so that's really good for us. About explaining this hand, we are just so I mean I'm betting so polarized here, because we're gonna have our flushes, we're gonna bet some of them, but we're not gonna bet that ace often, so we're gonna also check some flushes, and we can like easily shove flush also on the river. So I was thinking like 2x pot or shove, and I decided, okay, I'm just gonna rep queens and aces and that's it. So we can just basically use two sizes, 2x pot and all in size, because any other size doesn't have sense. We are check raising here 8s, 9s, 10s, jacks. We're not gonna ever bet it on the river. We're not gonna bet even kings on the river. So the size is like flush or full house, and the only size that has sense against the range that is kept is a big size. Okay. Let's see what he's opening here. Okay. Seems like all of it is like suited broadways type of stuff. So I'm 3-bet folding this hand. If he's 4-betting or shipping, I'm folding. But if he calls, I think we have good playability. Good board for us, okay. 32% opening. Pretty strong range from small blind. It should be like 45 to 50 at least. Okay. We are calling a 3-bet here. Okay, and this guy is c-betting every time, and now he's checking. Pretty strange. I would say it's pretty strange. He's c-betting. He did c-bet every time till now, and now he's checking it. I'm sure in one thing he wouldn't check a bluff here on the ace high board, small blind versus button. The board he needs to bet with most of his range. So hello, Lola Hebik. And even with jacks, queens, and kings, he needs to, yeah. But he's not betting with this size that hand, so I feel it was a slow play. Well, Hebek, are you referring to Zoom challenge? If on Zoom challenge, I'm not happy with the results I made, but I explain why I didn't have a good results. It was a lot of factors in. Okay, let's see how much he's. Okay, he's opening against us 30% of hands. %30 was like ace 8 plus. He's not even opening all aces. Like he doesn't have king 9 off, queen 9 off, and stuff like that. I'm gonna bet larger size. Let's see his strategy. If I'm betting here, I'm again over betting, just because I'm saying I can beat the queen x here, because he's gonna like check call ace queen even a king queen. So if I overbet, I'm saying I can beat this, and I'm just shoving here because he's not gonna have like a jack 10 in this spot. He should be like check raising or betting with the jack 10. So pretty good. I would bluff also like a 10 or like a jack, because that's like really our bluff range mostly. So like I said, he's gonna have like king queen, ace queen. Okay. Thanks a lot, Habik. Good luck to you if you're playing also. Okay. We're just gonna try to play good. Explain what we know and what we can explain. I'm gonna go for delay. I think usually fishes overfold to delay, so he's having like a 5 or jack here. Okay, this guy called with the ace-x. There's the hands we could do. We could fold out. I think I need to bluff this no matter what, but just based on the knowing how usually they are like overfolding 70% on the delays when they just call a delay. And the fish will also like check a lot of kings, which they shouldn't be doing. They should be stabbing a lot, but they won't do it, and that's why I decide like this. Checking here, let's see how much he's calling. It's like 16% of range. I see nines here, aces. Pretty strong. Pretty strong call range. He called against us that nines, so he probably has like 8 sevens here. I'm just not gonna sixes. Not gonna bluff with the 9. I think this guy's also fish. I'm gonna use bigger size. I would use the bigger size on this flop also. We just have one information that he check all the set, that he didn't check raise deuces on 2, 9, 10. That's telling that he's slow playing, and when he's slow playing, the problem is we need to turn down the turn barreling frequencies. So I'm not gonna bluff with the king queen. Even king queen is okay bluff, because you're blocking the king 10 and queen 10, and it's really nice bluff. But I'm not gonna do it this time. 7 is also really connected with his calling range, so there is no lot of fold equity with this. Clooney, I was never going. I played a lot live. I played a lot of online. I just didn't stream it, mostly because I hated the zoom and everything about it. I just didn't felt really good in my head after the challenge, because there's like no, all that challenge we are folding against this size, all that challenge didn't have many cents, and that's why I was not feeling happy about it, but it was what it was. So I'm not gonna go back to that story constantly. It was a challenge, and we done it, and we are moving forward. Okay, here we have two options. We can bet, we can check. We mostly want to check small blind versus big blind on monotone boards. and play it more passively and play from delay range. And now I'm just gonna overbet it. I don't like this to have a shorter on a table, but there is no other table, so all the tables are full. There's one from that 3-person we can go in, but maybe this guy will rebuy or something. I don't know. Okay, opening a7, queen 8. I will be folding. I should be folding this hand against this type of player. He's 3-betting 4% only, but I don't like to fold this type of hands. But this is just a strong range. This is clear call against normal player, but this guy is not normal. 4% is not normal in my opinion. Okay, he has calling range, so, but I think that's not a good strategy to have. The best strategy is to have 3-bet or fold range from all positions except button and big blind. Other from that is not a good strategy. Okay, now maybe this guy will rebuy if he loses this. Or somebody else will come at the table. We're gonna also track what's happening on other tables. I'm gonna try to track the dynamics of play. 18% here call. We are calling it. 18% is a P opening range. Okay, but this is we can see that this is like cutoffs. We're not gonna look at the middle position because cutoff is not here. So 26% of range. It's much better for us then. 26% of range is like ace 10 off, king 10 off. He has like king 3 suited plus. We're betting here. I think half pot is okay. We are betting every king, every draw, every 9. This guy is c-betting a lot. We're gonna go for the multi-way. Okay. He's not betting multi-way, so there's a possibility that he will check even like a king here. And I'm not sure if he's gonna call like 5s or 6s, the hands we want him to fold. I'm not gonna bluff here. Even the hand is good to bluff. Okay, call here. This guy's toning down, wrapping like maybe even a lone king here. Okay. Yep, he's having a king here at least. I just don't feel it would be a good bluff. Big blind versus a cutoff, let's see here. 6% here. Only 6%. Let's see how much he check folds here. He checks fold a lot. Okay, I'm gonna stab it here. He's gonna have us like ace queen. I don't think this player will call ace queen. The problem here, he's gonna have like queens and jacks and a king queen. I don't think he's double barreling king queen here. Yep, he's not betting king queen, so he's gonna have. Even this is like a good run out usually to bluff here. But I feel like he's gonna have a lot of jacks, he's gonna have a lot of queens and king queen hands. He even checked king ace king there. And like we saw on the HUD, he's check folding 80%. So he's gonna fold ace queen here, but he's not gonna fold jacks and queens, and jack got there. Again, I don't see that it's a good spot to bluff now. Okay, the green mark is a fish, the red mark is a reg. But on the, I didn't mark regs here because I think it's like most important who is a fish, and the good reg I mark just good regs. Good regs are mark purple one. Is it possible that I speak in Croatian sometimes? I don't know, because of the policy. I think I need to speak on English, but if you want, I can speak sometimes on Croatian. Okay, let's see here. Ace queen. Okay, he's calling a lot. He's calling here ace jack and suited broadways and connectors for sure. We are betting here. He's gonna, I think, call with the pairs. Maybe not. Maybe he'll fold pairs here. Versus here, versus 1.3 is only, he's not folding anything, so I think he would call it. I'm mixing between calling and 3-betting. Half. Small blind versus early middle. 6%. Think pretty tight. I'll call here. %6 is like nines to aces, ace queen, and suited broadways, and this board is crushing it. Check raise strength is a lot stronger than average. Calling here. His check range is weak in 3-bet pots, so I don't expect him to check raise very often. I would say this is a flush draw, just based on the type what he did show till now, because didn't expect that he's gonna do that. Just based on this, now had changed, but he did check fold every time till that, and he did call only once, like an ace high 2 overs. And when I see that this type of player, I'm just not expecting him to do it like this, that he Let's see the check raise trend. And that's as a caller check raise. Okay, this guy is calling 50% of range. Queen 8, Jack 10, 9, 7. We're just gonna go for a bigger size. I'm thinking here about the size. I think again we need to go big size here. Just because you're not betting 5x, you're betting like a floated king, and that's it. Okay, we have the table. I just want to see his squeeze range. 6%. Okay, calling the. I'm gonna call the red ones today, and I'm gonna tribet the black ones. That's how I do it 50-50. Okay. Let's see his check call range. I see that is pretty bad. Okay, I'm gonna bet the turn. He's gonna have like 8x, ace highs, 9s, 10s, 4s, 3s. He's gonna fold ace highs here. He's gonna call it with the draw. If he did have a flush draw here, he wouldn't think that this much about it. I feel he has, I would say, a pair here that he's check calling, like his 8x, or because if he has like flush draw with the pair, he's just immediately call. He wouldn't thought that much, so I think it's easy bet on the rear. Okay. We're gonna tribet the black ones and call with red ones. So I'm gonna call because this hand is half tribet, half call. So okay. Opening this. And also, like I said, tell me if you are hearing me well. Otherwise I can increase the loudness of the microphone. If everything is okay, then there's no need to do it. But last time the people told me that they didn't hear me loud enough. Okay. Let's see what I have about Albazar. Okay. Maybe RDM will play. There's no wait list here, so we're gonna enjoy it because we are first in the row. But there will not be need for it. We're gonna play here, so I can unjoin. Wait. Okay, fold. I'm gonna stream after 11 p.m. That can be your guide. After 11 p.m. while I'm in Germany, because on the day I'm with my baby, so playing with it and stuff like that, and after she's going to sleep I can stream and play poker. So after 11, like 11-12 till the morning hours, until I feel like playing. Worker told me Rex marked as fish. It's not important fish, I just marked the, in my opinion, bad player. So he can be reg, like this guy probably is reg because he's playing all the time, but in my opinion he's just bad like a fish, so it's not important. Is he a real fish or a reg fish? It's, if he's bad, and that's it. Thank you, Cartman. Yep, there are a lot of needs here. I mean, they're happy when they get paid off by my bluff, or when they have a big hand and I have a bluff, or when I pay them off when they have the nuts and I call them with a shitty hand. But it's not important. I mean, they're just not really good. I can shove like I'm shoving them like 7 high, 8 high, stuff like that, and they call I have quads or have a full house, and they think they are like making good plays, but you're gonna paid off by me when you have a big hand. That's just the way the game goes. Because most of the times I don't have anything, but when I get something, then the fun is starting, because they just won't fold it against me, and that's when the fun starts. I'm gonna just overbet here against weak range. He's not having tens in the range. He's just gonna overbet here. From what I see, he's stabbing king x, so if he's calling here, he has 10 flush draw, and queen jack is probably okay. Great, sound is good. I'm happy with it. Now we can play. opening deuces. I have table dynamics with a lot of people now. I know what they think about me, so based on that we will choose our bluffs and the spots we are bluffing with. We had a big bluff today again with nines. It didn't go well, but I think it was a good spot, good hand. And in my head, I know I'm not bluffing, over bluffing in that spot because I'm not bluffing. Basically, I have on that run out when the both flush draw are missed. We don't usually have we are not bluffing like with the flush draw with the ace x, like a not flush draw or a backdoor flush draw. So we just need to have bluffs, and I decided to go with nines there. I think it's good. Okay, I'm calling king queens here. Calling king queen. This guy's opening tight range, betting big here. We are calling. We are calling on turn. I'm not. And he's like toned down now, like he's wrapping king with the heart, the hand like king jack, and now he hit at the turn. I think he should be betting big here, or aces. Like I think I'm gonna check raise just because based on his size. I think that size will check the river on a lot of rivers. Okay, I'm just jamming here. I feel like this hand is like king x of, is it like aces? Aces or king of hearts, it seems like that. He's not betting like ace queen. He shouldn't. That's why I decided to attack the range, because we're gonna have like a flush draw here, and I'm not gonna just call and like give him the opportunity to win a hand with the ace queen. That's why I decided to raise the turn. Okay. Folding ace queen here. I'm gonna check monotone here with the king x. Pretty tight range, I would say. I would say that he doesn't have like deuces, threes, or fours. He's probably having like sixes plus, 14% range opening. Is he calling even with the ace queen guy like this? I don't know. Okay, I'm check calling here. Is he stabbing like 9 10s jacks here? Also, I don't know. Is he having like an ace jack off in this spot? I don't think so. I'm gonna shove here. Chess is asking me what I think about NL200 on stars. I think that the software is the greatest on stars. It's most comfortable to play, great to play. A lot of fish players, a lot of recro players, and that's it. Not many good regs, and I would say that's it. Comparing it to other sites, I feel it's worse. Especially with iPoker, I think iPoker is a lot stronger. And that's it. But I mean, we're gonna see how it's 500 here. Okay. We need to see bet here 66% of the range. And the size needs to be 2/3 also. Okay, we're gonna bet. This guy is tight. Interesting check raise here. I'm showing here. I feel like he's tighter and he's not gonna have many flush draws, so that's the reason why. I I was thinking, is he having like that type of hand? And I should shove. Here I'm just gonna bet shove. We have like ace queen here, king queen. We have ace king with diamonds. This guy is not calling three bets at all, so not a lot of like, he's not gonna have many flush hands. He's gonna have like ace 10, ace queen, king 10, queen 10, and that's and 9 10. That probably is combo draw and will raise maybe occasionally, but that's like 6 combos of flushes. He's gonna have like all the 9s, 10s. He's gonna have jack X. He's gonna even have queens, this guy. So I'm just gonna bet shove against this type of player, and I'm gonna have a lot of bluff ranges also. So I'm just pissed on myself that I didn't shove 9x here. Really mad, because yeah, I should shove there. Yeah, just shove in the river. And also he's gonna have like all 9s, 10s with the diamonds, 7 with the diamonds. Yes, he's gonna have, but this guy won't even call like 4s, I feel, pre-flop. And he's calling a flop with 6s with the diamonds, so he's not gonna have 6s. So definitely he has 8s, jacks, that's 6 combos, and has 6 combos of flushes. So that's 12 combos that we are losing from. And he has like all top pairs, middle pairs. He has also queens, so only 10s are 6 combos. So for me it's like easy bet shove and put in the top spot jack X, and we're gonna have like also a lot of bluffs because I'm 3-betting against him ace queen, king queen off, ace king, and I'm not gonna, against this type of player, I'm not gonna give up with the blockers. And just basically, okay, we are set. We're gonna 3-bet the black ones. He 3-bet once. We don't know. We don't know anything about him, so I'm gonna fold it. All the info we have that he did have quads and bet 2/3, and now he's betting a pot here. And we are blocking king queen. It's really important. I think it's a call. The red one we call. He should have a check range in this board. One third there. Calling here. Three betting here. And this guy's cold calling. I think this is really nice hand to bet. We are blocking tens and jacks, which are usually hands that are cold calling a three bet. And this guy is folding 80%, so really nice spot. And we have a table, Okay. %30 of hands, that means he's calling all shitty hands, off aces, suited aces, king 10 off, stuff like that. This is how much he calls against us. Okay. We are getting called for. He called for bet queen jack suited and aces. I think we are gonna call here. And I see that he's three betting a lot in position, so I think he's gonna have bluff range like king, queen, ace, queen stuff. We can shove this. Also, if he thinks that he's having like nines and tens here, then it's really good ship. But I'm gonna call for this. I'm gonna call the flop. It would be better if I shoved, if I knew that. If I knew this, I would shove. But I didn't have that information, so... He did get the king on the river. Too bad, too bad. We could get the stacks immediately. Ace jack, check. Let's see here how much he's calling a 3-bet. 70% more than usual, so we're gonna give him the wide range in our head when we're arranging him. Okay, let's join the wait list. Not a lot of people, so this guy won't play heads up, so we have a table. I would shove if the guy didn't don't shove. Because mostly his range will be 8 or 6 pair, but now he's wrapping a flush. Probably hand like 8 with the club, 8 with the flush draw type of the hand. And he's now donking it just because he thinks I would check hand like kings and aces probably. Which is true, but I would shove this, I would shove queen. No, I would shove kings and aces. I would shove king and aces there. And he's not gonna have queen very often, so queen of the clubs is also here, so he's not gonna have queen ever. He's gonna have queen with the queen 8 and that's it. So not bad. I would shove king and aces, so don't know why he's donking. He's donking to save us the money because I would ship this hand for sure. And the good thing is when he's like donk shoving, the good thing is when he's checking, then we can attack more successfully because he won't have a value hands. He's gonna donk shove them. So nice spot when he's checking, our bluffs will be much more successful. That's a good thing. Okay, open here, calling here, bet 1/3. Fold here. We are calling the red once again. We are calling the red ones, we are 3-betting the black ones. Fold here and this. We have a big time bank, I didn't use it, so it will help us in the future. That's the that's the thing that I was afraid. I was thinking in my head, only this guy, this guy doesn't shove. Wow. Chess is asking me why I don't play NL200, NL500 here. I will play after I'm documenting this. I need to play 100k hands here on NL200 just to document it with the program, and then I will have document for NL100 zoom, NL200, NL100 normal tables, NL200 normal tables, and then I will go to NL500. And on iPoker I'll play 200 and 400 NL, and on Winning Poker Network I will also play 200 and on 400 NL, because that's what I usually play there. And I will go to stars to 500 because NL 500 is like basically NL 400 with in euros or pounds, and on iPoker you play in euros and pounds, so basically it's the same limit time I already play, so there won't be problems. But I want to have like 100k hands, and then I have 100k hands for Zoom, for NL 100, and then for NL 200. But I'm gonna mix the sites. I'm gonna play iPoker, I'm gonna play Winning Poker Network, I'm gonna play Super Sport, Creation Poker site. So I will play something, but for now I just decided to play on Stars because I really like software. And that's the biggest reason why. First call 4 here. But basically it's the same. I mean, there's no big difference between NL 400 in euros and in pounds and NL 500 in dollars. It's basically the same. Okay, 26% open, a little tighter than it should be. Okay, he's having like ace 10 off plus, king 5 suited, queen 7 probably. He's having okay, king 10, I will call, or I can raise it sometimes. I'm gonna raise it with the spade. Check raise it with the spade. He's gonna have queen jack off, some of the queen 10 off also. Aggressive barreling out of position. Okay. Okay. Pretty interesting river card. He shouldn't bluff now with the jack X because he's beating some hands. when we have this 10, he doesn't have a lot of bluffs left. And when the jack is here, and he can like easily bet like aces even here, or ace king. I think it's better call like a king 5 suited, king 6 suited, just because like his 5 and 6 X's are only 5 6 suited. And he did overbet once, and it was aces in this spot on 4 4 5 5 7. He overbet with the aces, so that's telling me he's gonna overbet like ace king also in this spot, and aces definitely. Even this seems to be good to have a 10x to block the straight, but I don't think it's that good. Mr. Tipster is asking me about the smaller 3-bet size. When they open smaller, I 3-bet smaller. It's like that, and I want them to call, to play. So I would say it's good idea in it can be good idea everywhere, because people will not defend enough. Even that, especially at PokerStars, where they play pure range. You 3-bet team small, they were like 4-bet bluff with the king 10 and king jack and queen jack and ace queen off. So I think it's a really good idea. But when you have the fish on the smaller limits, you also lose some value, so you need to think also about that. You are getting some value, but you're also losing it, so you need to know against who you play and then change it. You change it accordingly if you're playing against fish, and then change it to bigger size. And that's probably it. If you're playing against Drake, who's not calling enough, or he's not playing post flop good enough, then do it. Against wide range, check range in this board, and check raise a lot. Okay. Call 6-7 off. That's telling me he's calling at least. He's calling even then king 8 off and stuff like that. He's not falling to a c-bet, at least he did. Okay, he floated here with the queen jack on king 6-3, which is okay. First check raise, we don't know what that means. Is he like check raising queen x, queen 10, queen jack, which he should be. Some of the time we don't know that, so I'm gonna fold it. Small blind versus early or middle, like 6% only, so nothing we can do. I'm gonna be the bigger size. I'm gonna make a quick bathroom break, and we will be continuing immediately as soon as I get no action at the tables. I'm gonna go for a quick break. After these two hands, maybe. No, not now, Jax. This guy folds 63% for out of position. And this is middle position. Let's see what he's calling. So pretty strong hands, really good suited broadways. And suited connectors, he even call queens. We are calling ship here. And better that I fold the jacks. Better if I just folded them. Okay, I can go now for a break. Okay, we didn't lose anything. Great, great, great. I wanted to see if we get the aces, but not. Okay, at least we are getting hands on this guy because I didn't play with him at all. 18%. Okay, usual range. Usual range. On UTG fold. Here is 46%. Pretty tight. 11% not falling to 3-bet. Linear range with having queen, so queen jack is bad call. Against normal 3-bet normal big blind betting range, it is more polarized than queen jack is okay call, but against linear 11% out of position, it's practically the same. That is really tight, and we can call it. I'm mixing with 3-bet and calling with this. Against 32% is okay. I'm raising here. This guy should bet this board not often, and he shouldn't bet like a king queen, and he's probably doing it. So raising is good, but little bigger size. What happened there? Did this guy just call 3-bet with the kings? It seems like that. Yep, pretty bad play. Pretty bad size, I mean. You need to go like 80% on this board if you're betting it. And the guy raised it. And I feel 100% that this guy doesn't have bluff raise here. And that he doesn't know what he needs to raise as a bluff. Especially with the size that he used. I mean, he will use like a flush draws, but that's not all the hands you need to raise. You need to raise, for example, you need to raise like 9-10 of spade, and he's not doing that for sure. Like 10 jack also. You need to raise 2x sometimes. Like an ace deuce. check here. I'm having check range against a wider calling range on the low boards. We're now playing delay c-bet strategy, and we basically know what most he has because he checked this 5-5-7. He's probably really weak. He's gonna fold a lot on delays, and when he's calling here, he's gonna have like hitted the deuce or flush draw or like ace high that he's wanna go to the showdown. Sometimes if he's good, he's gonna check also like a pair, like a 7-8 or 6-7 suited. But I mean, he's also calling from the cutoff and he shouldn't be calling, so I'm not sure what he's doing. This guy is even calling with a small blind. On this board we're gonna bet most of the range. We're gonna use a bigger size between 85 and 66. Go like this. I'm betting like most aces here. I'm blocking ace-9 and ace-10, which is good aces he's gonna have. We're not blocking any club. Okay. We can call with it. We just need to fold it, but I think it's really good bluff. Yep, it's definitely good. He's gonna call flush draws, he's gonna call queen X. For sure he's not folding anything to a c-bet. If I had a club, I would overbet the turn and bluff on the good river for us. The good river would be king. Good river would be a club, of course. Bad river would be ace, queen. But queen not that much because queen we can bluff. Just because when we overbet he's not gonna call all the queens, but he's gonna call all the aces, so it's much worse to get the ace on the river than queen on the river. But even on the ace on the river, he's gonna have the hands he's gonna fold. For example, some of the queen X's not gonna call shove. But just 9-10 you block ace-10, ace-9, which are really good aces he's gonna have. Just let me see. Yep. We can overbet the turn also with this hand and then shift the river. But I decided to this size because I would bet like ace king here and ace king with this size on the river also. Ace king against like 50%, 60% range. Blind versus blind ace king is really powerful, and you're not gonna be often behind, especially when there is a call on the flop and call on the turn. So if he shoved and I had ace king here, I'd probably fold it against the fish. I would never fold against the reg there when I use this size. But against the fish, I would probably fold against this guy. I don't think he's gonna have bluffing range a lot. So okay, I'm okay with the fold. Check here, monotone board. I'm not sure what he's repping now. Is he wrapping like a king that's check behind the turn? I mean, fish can do that. Call from a small blind. Still we just can't range the guy. I just don't know his range. That's why I didn't want to. Usually, I think it's a really good spot to overbet in this spot, but I just don't know the range. So, okay, 9 here. We're gonna true bet at him. It's a black hand, and we're gonna true bet it. Call with the red ones today on the button. Okay. Let's see. It's a call, but just want to see. First 4-bet. He did 4-bet here once. Okay, and we don't know what he had. I'm gonna go for a 4-bet pop-up just to see if I have it. No, I don't have it. Okay. I'm gonna call here. I don't like this size from him. I don't think he's good to have a bluff range. This is just a clear call. We are calling, of course, but I'm not sure if he's having that he's good to have a bluff here. He should be bet like a hand, his bluffs on the turn. But this guy seems so tight. He should now bluff like a hand like a king queen if he has it, and he should be betting there king queen on the turn with this size. I think it seems like so tight. That's the reason I didn't call, but I think we need to call it on the river. I think the 8s are better. Of course, they're better than the 9s, and we're gonna have like 10s. We're gonna have jacks, of course. We're gonna have some queens, but I'm not sure. But the guy just don't seems like, from what I saw from him from the river pop-up, I just don't know if he's like capable. Even on that jack he should be before, because we don't ever have a jack except with jacks. So, but I just don't feel he's good to do it. If I think he's good, I would always call river. Just base it on the hand how it's played. I don't know that he's having, like, for example, he's like 4-bet bluffing like hand like an ace 10. He should bet ace 10 on the 6 and shove on the river. If I only saw like one bluff or something like that, or some some things, but when I see that he's folding 71%, 99 on turn, not having any bluff on the river pop-up, always have it, I just don't see that he's gonna do that. Even like his 4-betting range, he 4-bet once on, I mean, it's clear call flop in the turn, but against this guy I'm gonna fold, but not easy decision. Just basically when we look our range, how it looks like, we're gonna have, let me see the board. I'm gonna have stronger hand than this. I'm gonna have jacks, I'm gonna have 9s and 10s, but 8s are really good. I'm gonna have ace-4 suited, which I won't check raise in this spot. I'm gonna have 5x. We need to defend on the river like 2/3 of the range, and 8s are there. Okay, we're gonna have also 7-8 suited, we're gonna have 6-7 suited. We can maybe ship sometimes turn with the 6. It's close, it's close. I'm okay with the fold to this guy. Now just when I go through the hand in my head, I'm just okay to fold to him. I'm gonna go for 1/3 on the turn. I think it's interesting size. It feels like he hit the 8x, hand like ace-8. We're gonna see now what he will do. But it feels like he hit the 8. I see here his donk. He did donk the turn. He did step the turn with the king 10. It feels like he hit the 8. Okay, 9s. He called with 9s, big blind versus button. Only call on one turn. I don't think he's good. Calling with the 9s, not check raising the 9s, and then donking the 9s. And definitely he's not good. Why donk? He doesn't have 7x more than we do because we are betting all 7x and he's check raising some 7x. So really bad play. Betting big here. We want to fold out the hands like 9-10, 10-jack, all that type of hands. 6s are really good here. Okay. He did check raise a lot. Okay. He's calling 8-9 off. That's not good news because he's probably gonna play all 8-9 like this. Yep. What we can do here? I was thinking if I want to bluff with the 6s. It feels like 8x. This guy has the quads. We are never betting the 6s again. Having a quads is good. Not get paid for it. He should check raised. It would be really sneaky if he check raised and bet the turn and then get the jack on the river. Then he's like only wrapping quads and nothing else. Folding everything here. Again, I didn't play with this guy, but it's not a bad idea to, I mean, to turn now bet the sixes and on the good run out. Now this is perfect for us because, for example, I'm not gonna fold hand like 9-10 on a check raise with the backdoors ever, especially on a guy who's check raising a lot. And I'm gonna always bet the turn with it. Let's see here. And then we have it. So we could change sixes into bluff. Okay, I'm gonna bet here. I'm gonna turn this into bluff. He's betting a lot, folding, check folding a lot. Not the greatest river here. Queen got there. Okay, nothing from it. Don't like this. We just need to call, but I'm not happy about it. Because the guy doesn't have full stack, it seems like he's a fish. Also. Don't like the check when he needs to bet all the range also. 3-bet small blind versus button. This is the 100% c-bet on this board. I always show the graphs. I can show the graphs from previous sessions so it's not important. I can always show the graphs from all the sessions we played. Also, I can show the graphs on stars from the other sessions I played. So it's not big of a deal. I will show it. I always show it. So this guy calling early position with 50% of the range. So if he calls ace deuce here, and against that type of player, he's gonna have like 8-9 here, 9-10, all sort of stuff. I'm just gonna go with the pot to range him better. He's gonna call with the draws 8-9, 9-10 for sure. He's gonna have him like 4-5, 5-6. He's not gonna have jack-7 off, so he's not gonna have two pair off. It's really important for our hand. We are going to trip it here. We're going to call for it. Okay. I'm going to fold against the guy who didn't trip it ever. Even the size is really nice. Let's see here. Cutoff versus early. 10% of hands call for, but let's see what he called for bet with. He's not calling with the ace-jack, that's for sure. We need to see bet the size is 1/3. I think probably the 9s, 10s. Ace jack suited, king jack suited, jack 10 suited type of hands. Ace queen, we're gonna see. He didn't fold it once in the 4-bet pot. Okay. I'm gonna check here. I'm gonna shove. He's gonna have like 9-10s. I don't think he has queens, he will shove it against us. But this guy will also check the, he's stabbing the turn 99%, so he would probably, I think he's tricky enough to check the jack X here, like a jack 10. But on this card we are bluffing a lot, so not shoving ace king would be a disaster for us, so it's good. Against, probably, we're gonna put him on the PO range of 35%, total hands, 3-betting and calling. That's ace 8 off. He has ace deuce suited to ace 9. He has king suited, all suited kings, all suited queens, jack 5 suited plus, and 7-10 plus. Connectors, gappers, and throw gappers. Okay. Let's see his check raise. He would probably check raise the. He check raised one time out of 8. No, 2 times out of 8. So I guess he would check raise deuces and sixes, or king deuce and king 6. He's gonna call all pairs. You see that from the stats. I'm gonna bet the turn. He's not gonna 3-bet king queen off and king jack off. That's also for sure. So now when he's calling, I still think this guy will call 4s, 5s, 6s still. But his floats like ace 10 will be folded on turn, I think. We're gonna do that also. Mr. Tipser is saying about our PO analysis of the hands. We're gonna do it sometimes. If there is interesting hands and I don't know how the hands should have played, we can check in PO for the solution. It's not the problem. But I agree that PO was great to learn from it. I always, after the session, if I don't know if I played the hand correctly. For example, we had the interesting hand today that I know that PO won't play the same way. We had aces against this guy, and this guy had a queen 10 suited, and he got the flush on the turn. In 3-bet pot we had aces, and I was bet shoving easily. Didn't even, and I know the PO will check the aces without the blocker, and he's gonna bet with the aces with the blocker. But against this type of player, it just doesn't have sense to do it, because this is like tight player who's gonna who's never gonna exploit our range if we check. So against this player we don't need to check. PO is checking, protecting his range with aces, and that's the reason why he's checking aces in that spot. Flop was jack 7 4, 2 of the flush draws, and we bet the flop, and the turn was 9 of the flush, and I was like bet turn and shove the river, and the guy had a flush, but and I know the PO won't bet with the ace without the ace blocker, but I know that this guy had only 6 combos of flush. So if he's like having the correct range and having like 15 combos of flush, then okay, we can check range on the turn because he has a lot of flushes. Not check range, check some of the range, like check 70% and bet 30. But I didn't want to do it because this player is just weak, and he just won't exploit us when we check their turn. He won't bluff enough, so we need to protect with aces. So I know that I didn't play that hand the way the PO does, but I didn't play it for a reason, because I knew how he see it us, because he see us as probably as a fish or aggro fish. So I'm just gonna bet shove. I'm gonna have a lot of bluffs. I knew my range pre-flop. It's not like PO's range. I'm gonna trip it against this guy, ace 10 off, ace jack off, king queen off, and all that hands has a lot of blockers, and I'm gonna have a lot of bluffs, and I'm not gonna like divide my range with so many bluffs and so little value, and that's why I'm banning aces there, ace king there, and just make it tough when he has like tens or jack X. So, for example, I know that some of the hands will be played different, but I have the reason why I played it that way. Okay. Call here. And this guy's opening quite on the cut of 33%, so pretty wide. We have 7-10 here. We have 5-7 here. So really nice for us. And he doesn't have any of that hands. So we're just gonna overbet it here. Okay, let's see here. Let's see his 4-bet range. He 4-bet 6-6. Let's see in position 4-bet. I'm gonna check this. I think it's okay call. I'm gonna float it. We can check raise it also. Get the nice backdoors. Ace queen, pocket sixes, 4-betting. Ace queen off. I think it's okay. 8-10 against that range is okay. I just think that now when I saw the range, I think it's really good to check raise also here. And if I had tens, I would check raise it, and nines. So it's okay. And and I think this guy will shove our persona, so that's really good when he's calling. He's gonna have a lot of hands like ace king, ace queen. We can get 10 and 8, we can get combo draw, we can get straight draw, and we can like shove then and put the ace queen and ace king in tough spot. Okay. We don't know the range. Is he calling all the connectors? Is he having off aces? Does he have ace 10 off? He's a fish, but I don't know the range. I'm gonna check here. And he will show the strength of his hand now. Pretty bad river. 9-10 is beating us. Flush are beating us if he didn't stab it on the turn. Is he gonna now change like 3s, 4s or 5 into bluff? I don't know. He should, definitely should. Even ace queen is a pure bluff here. He's not good with ace queen. Because our bluffs are betting, like king queen is betting the turn, or any possible bluff is betting the turn. Flush draws with the heart, with the spade, everything is bluffing. So he's never good with ace queen. He should turn the ace queen into bluff, of course, but even the pairs. I'm gonna bet a flop and check the turn. He's calling really a lot, so he's having a lot of aces, I would say. I want just to see his hand because I don't have any reads of the guy. 5-6, and he didn't, for example, continue bluffing here with this hand. So that's telling us now something about him. Ace king is a call. That's telling us that he probably won't bluff really much because he's not usually good with the 5 ever. When we call check raise, he's not good ever. And okay, we're gonna have like jack 10, but the hand I want to check, if when he's checking behind river, I want check 10 or 8-10 if the river was anything. So he's never winning, he's never getting to showdown with 5x, but this, for example, was a really good spot to turn it into bluff and put us in a tough spot, for example, bombing the turn and shoving the river. And then I would think that he's good, but when he's doing this, I don't think he's good, and I don't think he's bluffing enough. We said that we're gonna 3-bet the black ones. Volant New is a tight reg, I would say. He's playing 22 something. We are playing 30.5 to 26 on an 200, and on normal tables we played a lot tighter on the Zoom because I didn't have any stats. But I would say that the Volant is really tight. Even I didn't see anything stupid from him, so I would say he's okay. King 5 is a call with the backdoor flush draw. And we are checking here and calling the river. We are just getting hands on this guy. I didn't ever play with him, so that's why I decided to check this. But now I would like to see me make like 1/3 bet on the river to see what will he do with the 5x there. That would be really interesting. We're gonna check raise this. We are check raising it with a smaller size. A really good turn for our bluff, so I'm gonna continue betting with a smaller size with the 2 pair. We're gonna have a lot of flush draws that we're gonna check raise, so it's okay to be betting like this to see what will he do. He's gonna have like over pairs. I think I'm gonna check the river. Just because I don't think he's gonna call like 4s here, and maybe he can turn it into bluff. Hands like that, so I'm gonna check it. I'm gonna call here. He'll also have what he's gonna do with the like 5x here. I think he's gonna turn it into bluff in this, but then I don't know what he's repping with this size. I think the flush needs to go with the bigger size. He's having a nuts and he's betting like this, so giving us a free pass here. And just think about how much value he could get and put us in tough spot if he raised the turn when we bet half of the pot. And now, I mean, I check the river and call half of the pot with 2 pair. I'm pretty happy with the result. And if I had that hand, I would raise the turn and ship the river. I will bet here. With this size, we can put a lot of hands. This guy has in trouble, and I don't think he's strong when it's probably Jack X from him. He's gonna have like Jack 9, Jack 10, Queen Jack. Not a lot of King X, except King Jack. I think I'm gonna go with the pot here. I'm not gonna overbet, just because if I overbet, I'm repping the flush. I want to rep the straight and the sets, and that's why I'm betting the pot. Calling with this. We're gonna check here. Now this guy needs to identify the strength of his hand. You see, if I like bet and he shove, he can like shove, and we don't know anything. And now when he's calling, we can pretty much say we are beat here. And he instant called. He didn't like, if he has 8, he would like think, okay, maybe this guy has something, I would just think. But when he instant calls, I would say he has like 10s or aces. And he has 7s, so good. I wouldn't say, I play with him 500 hands and I didn't ever see he squeezed it, and now he's squeezing 7s. Okay, I would think like 8s, okay, has sense, but I thought he would at least think about with the 8s, like, do I have something? I mean, this guy get the pot, but it's not important. I was sure that he doesn't have like 8s, and 7s I don't think he had in the range also. But I mean, it's only 500 hands, so things like this can happen and you don't know anything. Okay. He just instant called the shove of this guy and one player behind. I don't know. And I knew I didn't want to forbet it because I knew these guys, from what I remember, I knew that he's not squeezing very much at all. And now he has, on like 6%, he has 7s. And I also think that he would bet like jacks and queens because they're vulnerable, and I think he would just face play them. So that's the reason I didn't even think about dead hands. I just thought, is he having like aces there, 10s or 8s? But I thought he would just at least think about 8s. But he didn't. He just instantly, and he fucked me, but We would check the turn probably. And I couldn't bet the river. Okay, this. So the result would be the same, but I just didn't think that he had that in the range. So mistake by me. Betting 66. Pretty much not the greatest turn. He's gonna have 10 axes. Queen 10, ace 10. Okay, we're gonna bet now. %, it's eights. Some part of ace jack. And pretty strong, like ace queen, ace king, suited broadways. Maybe without suited connectors, so he's not gonna have many 6x's. We don't have information about the strength, but on the pot we can flow this. This is call against 1/3, and that's it. And this is 3-bet. And we're gonna do like this. Let's see what he's calling with. He's calling not that much. We're gonna bet this hand, but we are not betting a lot on this board. We don't have king queen off. We don't have queen jack off. We are betting small blind versus button all the range, but we are not betting in this spot. We are just, when he's donking, I'm just shoving against that pot size. I would just fold and ship. I didn't notice anything strange about him, but I didn't play it a lot, so that could be information. We don't run really well this session. We lost like all ins. We lost 3 times with 2 times with aces, 1 with jacks. Not this. But I just don't see the other play. When he's like donking a pot here, I'm just not gonna, like, I will fold like jacks and shove with the king x and good draws. I just don't see any other way. I just don't see, like, if I'm raising 96 and lefting behind 100, doesn't have any sense. So overfold and then just shove, and it will be mostly like draw or king x. So did he turn? He cash out. He lost now. Okay, he lost immediately here. And he bluffed with this. So the guy turned it straight into bluff. Okay, I'm tributing a6 and a7. He's calling suited broadways. He's calling king queen off, so I'm gonna increase the size. He's not calling tens, he's tributing ace queen. So definitely we're gonna go with bigger size or betting the turn. Delayed c bet here. Open ender, top here, top pair high kicker. I'm gonna raise it here. In 40% he doesn't have 3x's, so when he's opening 40% he doesn't have any off 3x hand, and we have many of them. And I'm checking behind all the 3x hands. So I'm raising the turn. I'll call this, not 3-bet it. This is the fish. Okay. %25 calling. I'm gonna bet small here. He's gonna have some jack axes. One-third here. Fold. If he had like a pair that I want him to have, he would definitely bet the flop. So he doesn't have a pair. Like 6s, 7s, 8s, so don't have anything. Okay. And he's not bluffing with anything. I just don't see if I bet what he has to call with. I'd say mostly that his range were some draws. Okay. Okay, you can see the replier. Okay, no problem. I'm gonna change the replier here. Like this. I'm gonna change it here, so no problems. Always under EV. Is that for real? Are you always under EV? You were never above EV in your life. Is that true? Interesting nickname. This flop we should see bet 100% of the range. But against the fish, I mean, we can check, but we want to bet all the range. I would say he's now pretty polarized. He bet two pair with look at this. He turned top. He bet two pairs here with this size. Okay, he hit the turn. It doesn't have sense. He's not betting like ace-10 here with that size. So he's telling me I have two pair, and I'm looking what kind of two pair he can have. And even 2 pair he did bet with the smaller size. And this guy can easily like have 5x and turn it into bluff, so when he's polarized, I'm more willing to call. If he bet like half pot, I would fold it because he can like bet then every ace-x. Holmes is on 400 BBs. Where did he get the hands? Queen 10. Hey, he did get aces here. Let's see how he played it. I didn't even see it. Okay, he's 4-betting really not much. I'm gonna go for that hand after this one. Just to see how did he play that hand. I'm interested to know. 3-betting here. Let's see how much he folds. 24% of range. He's gonna have queen 10 off in the range. Okay, we're gonna go a bit polarized. Let's see the hand. I really want to know how the hand played. I was want to go polarized because okay, you just see now that he's not good. Play like this. He wants to call there with that hand. He's just getting the cards. It's hard to have the bluff range here. If he's raising here with the 2 pair, he's gonna have many value hands like king jack sets, and he just won't have enough bluffs for do it. He needs to do it like with the ace jack, with the 9 jack and stuff like that, and he's not doing that. So I just see that he's not good. He's just getting the cards just by the hands that he played on the table. Now there were a lot of weak plays. For example, he raised 5-6 against us and didn't bet the turn on the 3-bet pot where we had ace queen. Flop was ace 7-9. We bet 1/3, he raised it, and he get the 5 and he didn't bluff with it. And that 5 doesn't do much. Red one we're gonna call. So I just think he's not good. He's just getting the good stuff. Here should be like 30 to 40% c-bet range, and the guy is probably c-betting everything. Half we are betting king x, we are betting sets, we are betting 4x. We are not betting like hand like 8s or 9s. We don't have the 9s, we are 3-betting most of them, but we're not betting 6s here. So we are betting half the pot. He's check raising here. I'm gonna fold against unknown guy. We're betting we're gonna have a lot of 8x. I have a 8-10 off in big blind versus small blind. I'm using Sutherland's range, so I'm gonna bet this board 100% of the range. I think he's gonna call like ace jack off plus maybe some like ace 10, 8-10 suited, and I would say that he's 8. He didn't check raise here. He check raised here a lot. So I would say he would probably check raise the 8x. He has like ace 8, king 8 suited, 8-9 suited, 8-10 and 7-8 suited. I'm gonna check behind here. 10 jack got here, queen 10 got here. Not the greatest. And he's not bluffing this, so he's definitely not good. He needs to bluff here. We're gonna have a lot of 6x's that hit and checked. We're bluffing with the 10, we're bluffing with the jack on the turn. He's not good with fours a lot. He needs to bluff it. He didn't bluff it because it's perfect run out for him. He's gonna have more 10 than we're gonna have when we check behind the turn. So now we just can see that he's not good. He's not gonna bluff enough the river. He's not gonna bluff maybe at all. Okay, not on the middle position. Okay. We are betting full range on this board, 2 of the broadways. We are continuing to bet on the turn on the brick with the ace of spade. So we are checking on the turn ace of hearts. We're gonna bluff like king jack, we're gonna bluff jack 9. We're gonna turn 6-6 into bluff. It's really good. So it's much better to turn 6 into bluff than bet ace king, and the best ace king is without backdoor flush draw. That's the ace king we're gonna bluff. Ace jack is much worse hand than ace king, and that's the reason it's more of a bluff on the turn on the brick. And we are barreling a lot, and we're gonna barrel. We have like all king queens and ace queens hands, so we're gonna bet a lot kings and aces, tens. So we have queen 10 suited, so we have a lot of value, and I should call this but because it's red, but I'm gonna tribet it because it's fish. The guy called with the 5-8 suited, so queen jack suited is really good against him. 1/3 we are betting whole range. He's calling probably over 30% of hands. So just think how many suited hands he has. Call 4 is fold. I think we can go for 1/3 here. I really like that play. Because if we have like 10s or 9s, 1/3 is really good. We can see a cheap showdown. So I'm gonna go with 1/3 with the nuts. Give him good price on the draws also. I'm gonna go again 1/3. Even more, even little of 1/3. Really, really bad for us, but we are blocking the queen. We have queen jack, and I expected that he would raise his queen at least somewhere in the hand, but it seems he's passive. We could play that much better, but I decided to go like this, and it bite us in the ass, but okay. Now we have no more information that he's not raising. That's really also good to know that he's not raising trips in the flop, in the turn, in the river. Then we can just tin value bet and we are good to go because he won't raise us tin or anything or value. So we can like play that. So imagine if we have kings here and we bet like this. So it would be really good because he should put the kings in tough spot and at least in somewhere in the hand or aces, and really good for us. So I just didn't know that he would do it, that in the 3-bet pot he won't raise anywhere with trips. But now when we have that knowledge, we're gonna bomb it. And also when you know that he's not raising anything, so he's not check raising trips, that means we're not gonna have to, we're not be able to double barrel without equity, and we're gonna need to check also some value hands behind on the turn, just because he has all the value range and call range, not he's not check raising. So that means that, but that also is okay, because when we get to the river we can just bet small against him and go to showdown. He's gonna call us, like for example, when he has like trips, we have, I don't know, two pair or we have over pair, he's just gonna call, he's not gonna raise. So you can just bet the river then, it's small size. He's gonna call. When you're in setup mode, you're not gonna play for stack, and when you are when you're like thin betting him, he's gonna call with the verse, and you just have an easy game. But from the perspective of our hand, it was disaster, because we would get all in and I didn't do it. This is that guy with the king 5 calling a 3-bet. We are 4xing him. And I'm betting big here and going all in. He's gonna have like ace 3 here, or 10 jack or stuff like that. So if he's having like a 10, we're having he's gonna basically have anything here, and he's gonna have jack 9, he's gonna have queen jack, he's gonna have 5x, he's gonna have like 10-7, all that crap. And against that wide range you're betting, and if he's having 10x, I mean ace 10 is bad, because now we have one more we have one out less, but it's not that bad. He's just killing us. He killed us with the king 5 when we have ace queen. Now he's killing us when we have ace queen and he has ace 10. But against like that wide of the range, you just want to bet and get it in. Sometimes he's gonna have this, but often he's gonna have worse. He's gonna have 5x, he's gonna have 10, like hand like 10-9, and then you're in much better shape than this, because then it's queen good, ace is good, jack is good. For example, now I'm betting with the deuces, because he can basically have like anything. He can have ace 10 here, he can have basically everything. Now when he's calling, he's gonna, I think this guy will call like ace 10, he's gonna call flush jack, he's gonna call a10, he's gonna call jack 10, he's gonna have a lot of queens, queen 10, queen jack. We need to check the turn. We're just folding on this river if he bets. He had queen 5 of flush. But when the wide range is in the question, you don't want to check, you just want to bet. I'm betting with force. Again, the reg will need to show what he has. We're gonna go to multi-way pop-up to just identify his range. He's check folding 60% to a c-bet. So this guy, I don't think he's like calling. When he calls here, I think he mainly has a king, and kings that he's calling are, he's not calling like king 9 off of to 23%. So he's having like king 10, king jack, king queen here. But he'll also call like 6s, 7s, 8s. He's gonna call this flop with that hands. Yep. We should bet the river there, but we are then wrapping really, really not many hands. We're wrapping 5x there, and we have only ace-5 suited and 4-5 suited, 5-6 suited. I think Jack is good to bluff because it's eliminating the hands King Jack he can have. So I think that's why it's really good to have it. Okay. 30% around ace-10 off. Let's see how much he's folding. So he's gonna call some floats like King Jack with the hearts, King Queen of the hearts, ace-10, stuff like that. And he's gonna get the perfect trigger to bluff. I think we should continue with the fours there and be polarized, and I think it's a mistake. If we are betting the flops with fours, we just need to continue. Okay, I'm gonna 3-bet here. Definitely. Let's see his calling range here. Ace-9 suited. Pretty tight calling range. Okay, we're gonna bet 1/3 here against probably 50% of the range or more. Yep, I definitely should have bet there. Jack is really good. We're gonna have many equity hands that will continue there. We're gonna have successful river bluff opportunities. Fold audio. Fold here. $14. We don't know anything about the range of this guy. I'm just gonna guess. I'm stacking here, small blind versus button. I don't understand this. I thought he was reg. Tight reg. Let's go 10 here. I think this guy's 4-betting for value, so I'm gonna shove this. Usually I'm calling 4-bet, but when I see that he did 4-bet early position with tens, it was probably against me, so I'm gonna shove. And he didn't 4-bet other positions at all. Look at this size. He's betting 34 and lefting 17 behind. And the guy has pot size bet left. %, of the hands 3-betting or calling. He did call 8-8 against us. I'm gonna fold against this size. Nice size. This guy called call. This guy is checking twice. What did this guy call 3-bet with? He did call 3-bet 1 out of 2 times. Poker is not definitely not that if you can win like 15 BBs or 10, 20 BBs, it can be that. I think that now it's much better time for poker than ever before. A lot of sites, a lot of players, a lot of everything. You can play everywhere. For me, it's much better now than it was when I started to play. 1/3 against this guy. Would rather 3-bet against a guy who folds 71% more polarized than Queen Jack, so I'm not gonna 3-bet Queen Jack, but I would 3-bet Jack 10. Let's go more polarized. Wrapping Queen or a bluff. Okay, we have fight here. I will take your money for sure. The guy says no if I leave, not if I leave. I don't like when people talk like that. I was never a fan of it. You lose, you lose. He get the hand, he get the hand. What you can do? Why that? I don't like that talk at all. Especially with bad players. So if they are bad, they are bad. Why do you need to tell them they are bad? I much more. I hate like bad regs, but not bad players, bad fish. Bad regs are like something that needs to be mocked, but fish is here to have fun, and you need to respect that because they're paying you. Folding, he's not gonna float anything, he's just gonna call with the pairs or draws, so we're gonna immediately know what he's having. This guy, usually when he's calling a small blind, it's pretty tight range. He did call ace king. He's gonna have like, I don't know, king queen, ace jack. He's gonna probably float that. We're gonna definitely bet here. We're gonna bet with bigger size. We're not gonna overbet here, just because he has all the sets in the range. Maybe he's check raising some of them or all of them. It's not important. We're not gonna overbet. We're gonna bet here with tens. We're gonna bet with jacks, queens, 9x. So not gonna overbet anything. And I hate that saying like poker is dead. Poker was never dead and will never be dead. It's a really interesting game that is changing, that is growing all the time, and it will never be dead. It's like you say tennis is dead or football is dead. It's not dead. There will be new Messi, there will be new Cristiano Ronaldo, that's it. Poker is not dead, it will never be dead, and that's it. Let's think about the size here. $32, 26, okay, 32. We're gonna have bluffs for sure here, just because this guy can have anything. This guy will 3-bet them really light, squeeze them really light. We're gonna have, I would have like ace jack suited, king queen suited, ace queen here. I couldn't call that hands, but I can call this one. And he's not gonna have like king, he's gonna squeeze there a lot. He's gonna probably have more than 8. He's gonna have at least 12% 8s, ace jack, king queen off, all that hand. So if we have like ace jack suited, and we are not calling anything, so that's it. I will need to leave this table, I think, because this guy is not playing. Okay. And there's one shorter. I don't like shorter, but okay, we can play until the new table is here.